Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it's a sign of injustice or injustice and hypocrisy when you do something but you expect someone else not to do the same thing you do. I mean, you're an unjust person thinking, well, I can do it but you can't do it, or you can do that but I do it, and it's just the way people are, and in this case it's not surprisingly coming from Zelensky, who has that pretty much in his repertoire. So this article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine from October 11th, 2022. Russia ordered 2,400 Iranian suicide drones, Zelensky said. And I'm quoting, "I'm grateful to everyone who is already helping us to bolster our air defenses, enabling us to intercept the majority of Russian missiles and UAVs," says Zelensky. At the same time, and I'm quoting again, "At the same time, Russia is looking to procure 2,400 Iranian Shaheds alone, according to our intelligence." The president added that Ukraine is under sustained Russian missile assault for 2 days in a row now, warning that even being desperate, Russian dictator Vladimir Putin can still escalate the war even further. Zelensky stressed the need for foreign assistance, okay, what's new, in helping Ukraine secure its airspace. I thought it was already secured. In order to protect critical civilian infrastructure. That's all they care, civilians. They're so good-hearted. Once Ukraine gets enough modern and effective anti-air defense systems, this key element is needed. I guess that's what it was here, because it just ends in the middle of a sentence. So, Russia tries to, if true, tries to replenish its, attack capabilities. It's not that, let's say, Iran donates the drones to Ukraine or anything. These guys are just trying to get other markets. Now, should those guys say, no, we're not going to provide you with that? That's up to them, right? Is Russia the bad dude? Well, what do you expect? Who would you help? Let's say for the past, let's say from 54, wasn't it 54? Mozambique was overthrown by the British and the Americans. 54 or 56, doesn't matter, mid-50s, right? I think it's 54, but anyway. You remember what happened when the democratically elected guy over there, if I remember correctly, said that he's going to nationalize the petroleum of his country because some people were just extracting it and they were making a kill without giving the Ukrainian people anything or some peanuts over there. So then this guy decided to take care of Mozambique, and then he was put on trial, and it was as it was. But the Iranians did not forget that one, okay? Did not. Those guys forgot about it. Don't even know. And then what happened? Who did they put back in place? Mr. Reza Pahlavi, right? A I don't know. Anyway, they brought that guy. The guy brought freedom, democracy, and modern whatever. And then he was deposed by whom? By a guy who was in Paris, Ayatollah Khomeini. Right? He was in Paris, and the revolution, Islamic revolution, started in 79, I think it was, in Iran. And he was in Paris, and then he just somehow came back to Iran, like Lenin, how he just used the German train to get in St. Petersburg, if you remember that one. So it's the same kind of thing. So anyway, this guy is so Iran does not forget who's who and what's what. So for many Iranians, obviously they think of Reza Pahlavi's times. Some people say no, some people, yeah, well, you can't make everybody happy, that's for sure. And Iran, needless to say, doesn't really like the other side on this conflict, which is United States, not Ukraine. Ukraine is just means to an end here. But anyway, they go with the Russians, who help them here and there, support them, build nuclear reactors and so on. So obviously they're gonna help. They say, oh, I'm gonna give this guy, not that guy, even if this guy is in a wrong claim by the West. So 2,400 drones. Well, if they do it the way they do it, which they say they destroy about 10 a day, we're gonna get about what, 240 days. So what? That's almost nothing, right? It's eight months for them. Gonna blow them up. So another 8 months. So what can we say? The Russians are replenishing their thing. These guys don't like it. They ask for modern weapons, which they will be supplied. The problem is this: if those weapons really get in Ukraine, the modern ones, who is going to vouch for them? In whose hands those weapons will end up? Remember, let's say Russia dies, okay? There's a ton of weapons over there, and I do not believe for 1 second that each and every weapon, mass destruction weapon, not automatic rifle, there's nothing, will be in some bad dudes, bad actors, and those bad actors are going to do some bad stuff to good people. And then what's going to be blamed on? Putin again, because if he wouldn't have intervened, there would have been no weapons. Not on the other guys, because as in any incident, you don't look only at the incident, you look at what caused it, who was involved, what, take the whole chronology of events. You don't pick and choose and you start only here but ignore that one that would change what you claim. Well, this is what is tried to be exposed. Everything starts in the 24th of February. That's when the whole thing starts. But no, it didn't start then. I mean, I can think much, in 2014. And I can go in 2008. I mean, there's many events. And if you want to go with that, go in 54 with Crimea and Khrushchev. And then you go to 1940 when certain territories were taken from Romania and given to Ukraine. Then if you want, you go to 1918 when the same thing, certain territories were taken from other countries and given to Ukraine. Do you think, that's historical events. There are facts. It's not me just pulling them out of my ass and go for it. No. So it's go with the chronology. Now these guys want drones. I don't even know if that's true. And if it's true, it's up to the Iranian government to give them or not. Right? Like the United States. The government gives them over there without asking me, which is just dandy. So the same thing should be good or fair for the Iranians, right? No. Why? Oh, because we're good and they're bad. I got it. That's now how that justice is dispensed based on some people's assessment of your character, based on evidence. If you go by evidence, I don't know if I put Iran versus United States as being who's good and who's bad. How many countries did Iran invade in the past, 100 years? And how many did the United States invade in the last, let's say, 30? Anyway, but they were for good reason. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.